Hello, everyone. This is Nick Gio, and it's Monday, so we're back with shorter videos. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Basically, next week, this is the week we're in right now, till August 23rd, Friday. I am doing my last week of summer camp, and there's a lot of new kids this week for first and second graders because I do science and outdoor activities with the first and second graders, and then someone else does art for them. They kind of are split into two teams. They do different rotations, but then we all get together for the outdoor activities at the end. And each rotation is like 70 minutes. I mean, I can already tell that this is going to be a tough week because they're just a lot of wild new kids, and I figure, oh, their parents had them at other summer camps, and they want to keep those kids out of the house until the school year starts, and the school year doesn't start until next week for the area I'm working at. So it's gonna be tough, and also it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is my least favorite project of the 4 weeks of themes. So, and we're in week 6, so it's a repeat of week 2. So it's gonna be really tough because the materials aren't the strongest, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of helping them and people turning on the vacuum because it's a working vacuum, but they're gonna be playing with it too much and run out of the battery. So let's talk about the week after this one, next week. It's the one free week I have until subbing, and I'll later this week, I don't know when, I'll have a video about my new subbing schedule. So let's just talk about what I'm going to be doing with that free week. So first, let's see. Yeah, I mentioned that we have a little bit of a different staff at our summer camp right now because people have had to go to like their masters or college or their job, like their teaching job this week. So we've had some different people, but the 2 weekends will be usual, except I'll say I just added this today because I thought of it. Labor Day weekend, I might visit Mark in Chicago again. I visited him in late July, and it was fun. The only downside I had with it was just the expensiveness of it. It was about $50 or $60. So I think if I'm gonna probably make a pros and cons list about if I want to visit him. And I think I just want to. Well, if I text him and I want to hang out, I'll just say something like, "Hey, could we maybe like do less spending at restaurants? Maybe like cook our own food and try to switch up a little bit what we're doing in Chicago." I mean, some of the stuff is good. Some of the stuff I think could be better. Um, so that might be Labor Day weekend. But other than that, Labor Day weekend will be. Well, that's not. That's technically. Is that next week? Yeah, that's next week. That Saturday is Northwestern Stanford football game. Is the first football game of the college season, or the first week of it. So that'll be good. And my mom went to Stanford as an undergrad, so it's a little bit of a rivalry there. So, um, another thing, there's just a bunch on my to-do list. So I need to call my psychiatrist about rescheduling an October appointment because it's during an evening when I realize I have a fall grad school class during that time, so got to reschedule that. And then I'm gonna have a big library day. First library day, probably ever since the last school year, so like early June, because I always went to the library after my special needs job was done for the day, which would be like around 3:30, 3:40. I would get there 3:45 or so, and it was nice because it was on the way home, and home then was the condo, so it was just right on the way. And I like the library because I know I have to do work there, and I'm not leaving until I do work, and I'm not really maybe distracted as much. And also with the condo, I was never really used to a single place to do work, so Oh, I apologize for the glare with my glasses. I see like a lot of laptop stuff. So the library, the problem though was like I wasn't drinking enough water often enough, so I would get tired after like 3 or 4 hours, and also I on a weekend I'll get there like at 9 a.m. when it opens, but then around 12 or 1 I'll get hungry, and I'll be going there like at 9 a.m. again during this upcoming week. But I'll make sure, since now I have a lunch box or like a lunch bag type of thing, I'll just pack a lunch in there. I'll make sure that I'm drinking more water more often, like maybe 8 or 10 or 12 ounces per hour, or maybe 16, probably like 16 ounces per hour. And having the lunch so I can try to do like a longer, like a 6 to 8 hour day at the library, because there is a lot to get done, because there is the weather class that I want to finish. I'm kind of in the second half of it. Well, almost in the second half. I have to study now for the midterm, because there's one midterm, one final, a bunch of like little quizzes. They're called assignments because they're open book, but they're tough questions. So I usually get B's on them. So I'm trying to raise my grade up to an A, because right now it's like a solid 84, 85, or 86 or something like that. And then studying for the midterm, I'll take the midterm at a community college once the BYU sends the stuff. So I want to really, and I this week I have to divvy out like the number of hours I want to spend on each thing. Like I want to review all the 200 or 250 pages I've read so far in the weather class, but I have to think about how long do I want to spend. Maybe like 2 hours each day on it, just so, because I don't have to finish it until next June. It's like a year-long online class, but I want to finish it, I'd say, by the holidays, so I just have that Illinois physics test under my bag, or not under my bag, but like in my resume, so I can get endorsed in physics. Other than that, Khan Academy Biology and Crash Course Biology, those are YouTube channels, because they're going to be helping me learn biology again, relearn it, because basically I bought a high school book, but it was so many pages, and I think I do better with like looking at videos to learn things than, especially these two channels, because they're really in depth in how they teach things. Looking at the student teaching handbook documents, just so I know exactly how student teaching is going to go for grad school and how the classes are going to go for it. 60 minutes of random Wikipedia articles, which I did this past Saturday, and it was pretty fun. And I think I want to try that more before I go back to novels, just to see if it's maybe a better alternative than novels. I can't really talk right now. Well, yeah, I talked about the other stuff. Another thing is my hair's kind of long. Um, you can kind of see it like down here. Um, and I get one like every 3 months or so, and it's kind of at the month and a half point almost, or the 3.5 months. Did I say every month? I meant every 3 months. And I want to get one right before my subbing starts again, just so it's kind of a fresh start. And then I want to iron different clothes that I might use, especially my corduroys for the fall. Corduroy pants, I have a couple of them, but they just easily get wrinkled, so I have to figure out some sort of system for them. And maybe I'll wear khaki pants for subbing, because I'll be more the main teacher, so I'm not sure. The handbook for the subs, it only says wear things that are comfortable, but I've seen guy subs and they sometimes wear just nicer clothes, so we'll see. And then this Monday, so a week from today, US Open tennis starts. So I've been a little lucky with tennis, because I wasn't working. The summer camp started the weekend of the final weekend of Wimbledon tennis. So actually, I kind of missed the men's final a little bit, had the second half of it, which kind of sucked. But for the previous 2 weeks, I was able to watch it, a lot of it, and now I get to watch U.S. Open for a week, and then subbing starts, but I'll still be able to watch the evening matches. Um, I want to look at Let's Play Tennis. It's a website, or maybe it's an app. I don't know. But basically, my sister used it when she was living in Maryland. I say basically a lot, I know. Because it's a way to find people in your area to play tennis with, and maybe I'll find a woman that way, or maybe I'll just find a guy or a girl who just they can play tennis as well as I can. That'd be nice. Um, and and yes, and then, but yeah, that's about it for my week. And there's probably more stuff. I'm not sure. Let's just check Google Calendar while we're here. And I have to go to my profile and I click on Google. But I think I have everything covered. There's also that weekend, so 2 weekends from now, there's a good. I'm pretty sure there's a good Arsenal match somewhere. Yeah, on Sunday against Tottenham. They're home against Tottenham, so that should be a good game. Other than that, I'm starting to lift weights every other day, and I'm trying to do the Wikipedia reading every day or most days of the week. Trying to see what else. Oh, I might go to Goodwill. It depends on if I feel like I need more new shirts and maybe some sort of heavier sweatshirt. Because I got this sweatshirt, but it's pretty light. It's more of like a kind of a workout sweatshirt type of thing, but it looks cool. And I got the shirt below. These are both from Kohl's, so that's another thing. But hopefully you learn something from this. I mean, it's kind of just boring. Like, what am I gonna do with my time? But at this point, views don't really matter to me. It's more about just talking these things out, just so I always have these videos to look back to see how things have changed, and also just to see how I've, yeah, just to see how I've changed. And actually, I was listening to some of my old podcasts this past weekend. They were from like late 2016, early 2017. I was right before I moved into my friend's condo. And I think this weekend, the personal video is just going to be me playing them with a screen recording of them on this laptop. And then me just pausing the video and just commenting on it. Because there's a lot of good content on there in terms of, I realize, like, I listened to the two most recent, those are the ones I'm going to focus on. They're about an hour long combined. And there's just so many parts where I'm like, no, I was wrong here. I was wrong here. This didn't happen. This didn't happen. So it'll be a really fun video. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Let me just see what tomorrow is. And I'm in the cabana and I had the 2 doors closed the whole time. So that is definitely an accomplishment for me. Speaking of subbing, I'm going to be talking about the benefits of a new subbing schedule. So kind of just like a new subbing way of doing things, because I won't be really in the special needs classroom. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. It is, I think, around 8 p.m. I had my clock turned off and I forgot to turn it back on because I was doing grad school homework. And but I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, peace.